Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me out there? Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. What's going on with the technical difficulties? Trying to get this thing back right. There I am. Sorry about that. Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. Hopefully everybody can hear me out there. We have a jam-packed show for you today. We've got some great guests joining us today. Joseph, part of the BTR community. Sparks Flames will also be joining us on today's call. Beautiful day in the neighborhood out here in sunny California, where the weather is slightly cloudy, but the sun is peeking through. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Hopefully everybody's doing good. You know, I'm working back into this streaming thing, and I need to get my shit together. Uh, Excuse my French. But we're going to do that. We're going to get it back right. But I do have some guests joining us. I hope the intro played well. If there's any technical difficulties, please alert us in the chat. I am watching it. So we're going to be talking about this DeFi summer. The trend is your friend, right? We talk about that in the community. And I know from looking toward the future of crypto, I can clearly see that they're setting up something for DeFi. A big boom is coming in DeFi. And yes, we had this DeFi summer back in 2021, and there was a lot of hype and a lot of mayhem, a lot of losses. That's when Do Kwon did his thing with Luna. We know. We thought there was all type of great node opportunities, faucet drips, daily tokens. All of it has dripped away. I know you remember Stronghold. Everybody was talking about Strong. Yes, if you got in early, you did make some money. But we want to talk about this next wave of money coming in DeFi. And never have we seen a political climate like this. Never. And because of that, and you can clearly see the moves that the president is taking, it's going to be mayhem. Mayhem. So I want to bring on, let's bring on our guest, Sparks and Joseph. We're going to have a three-way conversation here. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully we can hear you too.
Loud and clearly.
Beautiful.
Loud and clearly on my end as well.
Good, good. Were you guys also able to hear that intro?
For sure.
Oh, okay, good. I don't know. For some reason, I wasn't hearing it on my end. I was like, oh my God, man, what's going on? But good. That's good. That's good. You know how it is when you're working back into something you haven't been doing consistently. But we're back here, and we're here. It's good to have you, Joseph. We had our last podcast episode, I guess you would say. I don't know, last week. And over things are going to change and get to the right pace. Yeah, we did it last week, Thursday. Today it's on a Friday. There's just so much going on, just in life in general, right? Not just in crypto. I think crypto is a unique, interesting industry, and I feel like it has a lot of life lessons within it and spiritual lessons. And if you really commit to the journey, you'll see and learn sides of yourself that you never knew were there. Would you say that too, Joseph?
I think if you're in the space right here, right now, I think you're blessed. If you've been here for at least a couple of years too, I mean, I don't know about you, I know about me. I've been through ups and downs. I think I can put my right arm that 95% of the people have been through these ups and downs for the last couple of years in this market. Learnings, experiences, friends, for sure, enemies.
100%. A lot of enemies. I mean, hopefully not too much, but there are some. It's unfortunate, and also that can come from even people that you help. You don't know or see what's going on behind the scenes, how they may truly feel about you,
Mm,
or and it's unfortunate the people that you help start to compete with you, and that turns to envy, that turns to jealousy, that turns to fallouts, and it's just not good. You see that a lot in this industry. You see a lot of people wanting to be in somebody else's shoes when you truly don't know what that person went through to even be in those shoes. And
mhm.
quite frankly, I don't want to be in nobody else's shoes. Um, so yeah,
I mean,
Spark,
you get what you deserve, right?
right?
And with everything that has been evolving, just look at X, Twitter, right? Look at the difference just the last 6 months, but look for the last 3 years.
Mm,
I mean, the destiny is on your own hands. You have a lot of options and a lot of opportunities. So, I mean, you are at the place where you deserve to be. And then if you want to switch shoes, you cannot do that, but you can work, you can be smart, you can take the chances, the risks, and then potentially, hopefully, you will be in the same shoes but different size.
100%, 100%. Yeah, no, I love it. I mean, I think crypto is a special industry. It's a special journey, and like you said, man, for those who are in it right now, you are blessed truly. And if
Hmm.
you are also within a community that is blessed, you're even more blessed, because I personally believe you need some kind of structure, some kind of foundation, some kind of community, within Web3, in order to truly help you see through the smoke and help you win, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
couldn't
Um,
agree more.
yeah. But, today we're here. It's Friday. Uh, let's talk about this, man. There's a lot that's going on in the world. We got Sparks on the line. She hasn't chimed in just yet. Sparks, you're live.
Yeah, it's nice to be here with you guys. I know we had some technical issues on my end last week, but I'm glad to be on this week's live stream.
Yes, it's good to have you as well back in effect. And yes, we did miss you last week, but we still shared uh, some of your work. Not the way you would do it, but we did our thing. We
We
did our
tried.
we did. But let's talk about this, man. Honestly, I got some things I want to share, but I want to kind of get honestly both of your take on the trends that we see coming up. Because personally, the next trend that I can see is DeFi. I think there's going to be an explosive DeFi summer. Could possibly be it, right? Because this industry loves just picking dates and creating a whole new whole new holidays and crypto holiday. Like we have crypto holidays literally because every 4-year cycle, the same damn things come back up on the scene. So we have these holidays, DeFi summer. I personally believe DeFi is going to come back in a way that we have never seen before because of the regulatory climate globally,
Mhm.
things being shifted, new protocols being born, that the tokenization of RWAs, the financial industry, different things like that. So I think that is important. Um, and I think we need to keep our eyes on that. And I have a lot that I want to share, but what are you seeing in your world, Joseph?
I think it's interesting what you're mentioning. I don't think DeFi will be the only narrative. It's never only one narrative, obviously, but I think things you mentioned in the beginning, in the intro with Donald Trump, his meme coins, the cult he's trying to build, I think that will have an affection on the market and on other creators, whether that's content, products, assets, tokens, whatever. But if we zoom in and double click on DeFi, people are talking about like a DeFi 2.0 type of vibe. And I mean, it is interesting. We had it back in 2020, completely different um, setups, right? Now the space has been evolving and we have more yield opportunities. We have AI agents that can add to the DeFi space, which they do quite a lot. We also have
That's that
more
DeFi AI, right? The DeFi AI.
exactly, agent to agent communications, MCPs, all of that type of thing. That's hot, that's happening, that's just gonna add to what we're discussing. And then I think the everything is set to take off from a much better position than before. Just look at um, the gas fees, for example. I mean, on Ethereum, right? That's on crazy low levels. I mean,
Listen, I was just talking about this to myself 2 days ago.
right?
Like, remember there was NFT projects where it would cost us more gas fees than the damn NFT. They're like, what
Yeah,
are we doing here? $500, $1,000 for gas fees. It's crazy. And now
that's
look at
crazy. And I mean, if you Google or ask ChatGPT nowadays, some of the stories about paying high gas fees, it's gonna blow your mind. I mean, if you're joining the crypto space since a year ago, you're not gonna believe these stories. And now Ethereum all time low. I mean, below $1. Are you kidding me? I mean, you were choosing assets to transfer that had such low gas fees or network fees.
yeah.
You were never able to choose Ethereum, right?
No,
Because you
no,
didn't want to throw
never.
away your money.
No, no,
So
that's yeah, no, it's crazy. That just only brings about new products, new financial products, new yields, like we were talking about, new
mhm,
things to offer to the consumer. This is why MoneyGram has changed its approach because they're utilizing XLM. At
mhm.
first, they were using XRP, but then they switched to the real horse, Stellar. So, and they're just slowly, well, I wouldn't say just say slowly, they're integrating fast. Like it's happening right in front of our eyes. Uh, and if you're privy to see it, you can actually take advantage of it. So, what other trends do we see though? Because I believe DeFi, yes, you're right, it's not always one, but there's always a there's always like one main one that stands out. Like I've been telling people about the agent trend coming for a while, and we were spot on in regards to that trend. But see, the thing is with these trends, you just never know the timing of when they're going to hit, right?
Mm.
Because I owned the token that turned into virtuals. It was a guild token. I forget the name exact, Path DAO or something like that. And they just gave us a one-to-one airdrop, right? You never know what something is going to be.
Yeah.
You never know, right? Like, so for that thing to be worth 00 and from it to go in the span of 3 months, like from that 00 to what did it go up to, like $6?
Something. I think it was at 4
Five?
billion market cap, right? 4 5.
Yeah, we got to like $5 or something like that. But
Yeah,
nonetheless, that's how millions are made. That's how the opportunities are in crypto. Like if you're not giving yourself a chance, if you're not giving yourself the opportunity to play the game, there's no way you're going to win going forward. You know, um, I just think it's very interesting. Sparks, what are you seeing in your world? What's on the horizon in your world? Any new other trends that we haven't talked about just yet? Of
So,
course, there's a lot of them.
so just to add to the DeFi chat that we were just having now, I also see an expansion of that, of DeFi in the traditional world, where crypto meets, the legacy market. And I see that here locally, that particular one bank, a Standard Chartered Bank, which is also known as Standard Bank in South Africa, they offer, they are looking to offer loans in Bitcoin or to take against your Bitcoin and
Mm,
such, and even save money in Bitcoin. So that just shows you where the markets are going, where the trends are going. Um, and by Trump establishing the World Liberty, platform and things like that, that tells you the legitimacy that he's trying to establish DeFi in the US and worldwide as well. So that is, DeFi was such a wild trend back in 2021, but I think during the bear market, all the funny ones went away, and those who were true and strong, stood against the test of the bear market and such, and they're now, and I believe that they are gonna rise. um, it's going to bridge that gap between the traditional world and the crypto world, because in order to, for assets and for money to come into the space, it has to be ramped on from the legacy markets into the crypto world, and that is how these platforms are going to bring that on ramp as such.
100%. Do you guys see my screen right here?
yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
when you already talked about that, you brought that up. That's the first screen I wanted to go to. World Liberty Financial. I personally believe that this right here is, let's see if I can get us, let's do it like this. Yeah, this right here is just telling us exactly, I personally believe, where the government is shifting towards. We talk about following the money. We talk about looking at, uh, the political environment and watching and seeing, connecting the dots in the 6 degrees of separation. But I personally believe, they talk about these funds. I remember us covering Stellar and Sparks, and we were listening to Christine Lagarde a lot, and I haven't heard her name in a while. And you know, she was talking about these baskets of tokens of assets, and we never knew what these baskets looked like. We used to imagine. I just used to think about Yogi Bear with these baskets running around with of crypto. I don't know if you guys know who Yogi the Bear is. Is that just an American thing? No,
I don't know.
I
Sparks. I know
We
you know.
used to have.
No,
Yes.
anyways, I used to just to think about that. So it just brings me to this World Liberty Financial. What they got going on. I don't know if you guys have been following it, Joseph, Sparks. But I'm curious to see what your take on this, and I want to dive in a little bit about it because I feel like there's some important information out there, stuff hidden right in plain sight, opportunities right in front of your face, and we've harped about some of these assets, but nobody is really talking about it, and nobody's really making the necessary moves. And I don't know what everybody's holding, but I don't foresee that they are. But what is your take on this World Liberty Financial? How is it going to impact DeFi? I mean, because you can clearly see shape a new area of finance, be DeFi-ant. We're leading a financial revolution by dismantling the stronghold of traditional financial institutions and putting the power back where it belongs, in your hands. If you were fortunate enough to get in this token, I personally believe that this thing is going to be a blessing. Just look at what the meme coin did. And this is actually backed by real utility, correct? So what's your guys' take on this?
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't be more clear than that, right? Defiant, like DeFi is right in front of you. Like if you have bigger letters, it wouldn't fit the website.
Right.
I haven't read, or I know about it, but I haven't dived deep into it. But I know that they're trying to set the same level for everyone, right? They want to have equal votings. Anyone can create a proposal and steer like the DeFi future together, united. So I think that's the main thing. I've seen it within the Ethereum ecosystem that everyone is talking about a unified Ethereum. This is talking about a unified DeFi in general. So I think it's the right path to take.
Yeah. Sparks?
So, from my understanding, what World Liberty Finance is trying to, achieve is, besides bringing legitimacy into the space, as we know, also, having a world leader, having a president, believe in new technologies, and also trying to establish new technologies, in the country or whatnot. Um, this is just a platform as to where how the future of DeFi, lending and borrowing, all these financial tools that people need. And one of the things about the platform is that, as Joseph said, it is a platform that unifies. That means anyone globally can partake and be a part on this platform in terms of DeFi. There is no restrictions in terms of location and such. So that is one of the aspects that I got from World Liberty Financials, and what was my thoughts on it initially and such.
Yeah. No, that's a good take. Yeah. Let's see where this thing goes. But I wanted to just touch on just DeFi alone, because people hear about this DeFi, they don't really know what it is. If you've been in crypto, yes, you do know, but we also want to cater to the novice, people who are new, the newbies, so to speak. So DeFi is an umbrella term for peer-to-peer financial services on public blockchains, primarily Ethereum. DeFi, or decentralized finance, is an umbrella term for financial services on public blockchains. Why did they have that twice? Yeah, but yeah. So that's what DeFi is. It's decentralized finance. So you'll be able to do swap, trade, stake, earn yield on money. People are using DeFi protocols right now in the real world and have no clue. Uh, you know, these are, I was looking at some of the top decentralized finance coins today by market cap, right? And, you see, you got the chain links, the Uniswaps, the DAIs, but there's some new ones on the scene that World Liberty Financial has been taking some liking to. And there's some other ones out there too that I also find to be bullish. But I think it's worth covering. And I'm not sure how far you guys are deep down the rabbit hole in DeFi, um, but I think it would behoove anybody not to have some kind of DeFi assets. Personally, I believe RSR is going to go crazy in price. So if you're out there listening, I will buy some before this run up. You know what I mean? But what are you guys looking at? Are you looking focused on DeFi? Do you see anything out there that people should be looking at before we start to go more more personalized on these DeFi picks?
I mean, there's a few interesting ones. Um, I know Hyperliquid Athena has been getting a lot of traction. If you want to count them within the DeFi
Yes, Athena definitely. That's like they say like the new Luna, right? 2.0, but the real
2.0,
version.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so even some of the older ones had a good chat yesterday with people from Say, the Say ecosystem, and the Say
Yes,
Foundation. They're
that's
also
good.
doing some crazy things, crazy
I'm
good
bullish
things.
on Say. I'm bullish on Say, and that's actually what we're going to talk about too. So go ahead.
That's
I'm sorry. I'm
that's
just excited.
amazing. And then if I would mention maybe a Solana equivalent to, let's say, Uniswap, I would say Radium. I think it's had a good last 2 years. Obviously, they've been working up until now very close with Virtuals, the ecosystem. No, sorry, Pump Fund.
Mhm.
So Pump Fund tokens were using Radium as the um, the platform to get the token out of the Pump Fund ecosystem, basically their AMM,
Mhm.
which they're now changing. They're doing a DEX in house instead. And I think Radium is doing a Pump Fund similar product on their side. So that's also going to be interesting to see how that works. But this combination, together with the meme hype, obviously from before on Solana, has been paying off Radium holders really well.
Well, you know what? I can concur with what you're saying. I agree with that. But just to if just when you said the meme effect, that culture, there's a DeFi protocol that I wanted to actually highlight today, and I'm just going to bring it up early because of you jogging my mind. But SunSwap on the Tron network,
Mm, yes,
and they also have that Sun Pump,
yes.
which is their meme version, like Pump Fun or so on. You see these other ones popping up. Wax has one, you know, but blockchains that serve a purpose for the meme culture community, I feel like are gonna be monumental as we continue to progress into the future. But Justin talks a lot about Sun. He's like, if you want the Sun swap to uh, merge with the meme culture, he says a lot. But nonetheless, he's a smart he's a smart guy. He's a genius. I don't think he's real, honestly. He looks like a clone. He might be. God damn it. I mean, he might be. Maybe he is Jack Ma in Justin's body. Look at all these movies. I don't know. It's a strange thing, but he's
I mean,
probably
he's doing something good because attention is gathering around him
100%.
for one reason or another. So
The first meme fair launch platform on Tron. And, you know, I don't think people realize, I was doing some digging. So the history on the old Sun Sun token chart, right? So This is the old Sun token's price has fluctuated a lot since the token debuted in September 2020 at around $23. Sun's price went down later, reaching levels just above $6 in the midwinter. However, by the spring of 2021, it was in an upswing, hitting $50 in April. Sun entered the redenomination period in late May with the price bouncing inside the 20 to 30 range, which meant that after the swap, those same prices turned into 0, 2 cents to 3 cents. There isn't yet enough data beyond those numbers as the swap was completed only in late June. So it's hard to make any Sun price prediction in the long term. So this was back when the swap happened, right? So this thing went to damn near $50. And that token supply, because I know people are going to be out there wondering, it was a billion token supply. Now, if we come currently to the new swap contract, it's at 1 cent, 17 cents, 332 million market cap. The circulating supply is 19 billion. Total supply is 19.9. It's almost fully circulated. That's bullish. Oh, he said, oh, well, it's 20 billion tokens, Brando. How's the price gonna go up? No, the time has changed. Talk about the times. See, what people don't realize, and guys, we can have a dialogue with this because I don't want to be the only one talking, but I do see that they are learning as this industry continues to grow. And I'm seeing a change in tokenomics. It's like the industry, they figure out a new way of tokenomics that actually works, and the industry adopts to that. Like I remember at first it was the 500 million, you know what I'm saying? And then it got to the billion, and now everybody in the industry was launching billion total supply contracts. But I see there's these new DeFi products that are coming out in the 10 billion to 20 billion range. But they figured out how to get these higher price token contracts as far as circulating supply, higher supply, to do the numbers. They've mastered it. This is why you're seeing tokens with a lot of supply go to a couple dollars. I can give a lot of different scenarios. Polygon, you can look at Cardano, there's a lot of them out there. I believe these tokens can still do astronomical numbers. Can we talk about that? Do we see? Do you guys see this too?
100%.
Sure. Just to point out some things as to why they may come out, with such tokenomics, especially in the DeFi space, right? And one of the main reasons is knowing where we're going with this crypto space. There is going to be a demand now that institutions have stepped in, especially banks and all these major hedge funds and such. There's going to be a very large demand, and having a billion tokens in a DeFi space isn't really going to cut it out, so to speak. So having that 10 billion, 20 billion, and if not more, that's going to help to make sure that everything in that ecosystem is sustainable, and also making sure that they are catering for the demand as more and more people come in, buy these tokens, lock them up, or take loans against them and such. But this is the way and the standard that they are trying to set to make sure there's enough to go around for customers and things like that. Another reason maybe is that if you, in terms of having a full unlock of these tokens already, unlocked into circulation and such. A reason for that, one major reason for that maybe is that so that there is no, future, security risks, such as, in case the team gets hacked or something, there's no risk of the tokens being dumped on investors and such. So that also, in a way, protects liquidity in the ecosystem.
Interesting. Now, apart from the second part of the question, are you seeing the difference? Well, like, why do you think? Well, yeah, you just said why, but that doesn't affect the price, right? What do you see with the chart with Sun, like, so to speak, like the
Sure.
trajectory, if you don't mind? But I would love to also hear your thoughts on it too, Joseph, while she gets that queued up.
Yeah, I mean, to answer the first question, I think something we've seen with virtuals, other AI agent infra, is that they help these agents tokenize their agents and then be have 100% circulating supply from the get-go. And I think obviously we know the adoption that the AI agents got, that has affected the mindset of the users of these agents, the investors of these AI agents tokens. And I think for other relatively new TGE projects that have been uh, doing the traditional way with investors, VCs, and then locking tokens and then have a bunch of unlocks for the coming 5-6 years, I think that doesn't benefit them at all. So one benefit that the older projects have, such as Tron and others, that they have been releasing these tokens, unlocking them over the last couple of years and months. So now, when they are very close to having 100% circulating supply, I think this is a good position for them. You mentioned some of the tokens. At the same time, I was looking through this. Like even Optimism is currently having unlocks. Sui, if you compare uh, today with what it will be by the end of next year, they're gonna have an additional 1 billion tokens in circulating supply, and that's not the end of it. It's gonna continue. So I think finding a way to have 100% circulating supply, which is more a form of a community driven project, because you're going to release everything probably to the community. You're not going to have investors that going to dump the price on the community. I think that's beneficial to you.
I agree. I don't think people think unlocks are a bad thing. You know, we run a VC, so we understand unlocks, investing, and why the hell am I gonna get some tokens that are unlocked and sell them and I'm in a loss? You know, not to say that's going to be the same for Sui and all that, right? Because they've gotten in that lower price and it's higher, but they know it's going to go higher. So why would I shoot myself in the foot? You know, it's like having virtuals at the token swap and then selling some at 10 cents. And then you see it continue to grow. And people can sell too early and people can sell too late. You don't want to be that person. You want to be that person who capitalizes. And, you know, going forward in this cycle, this bull cycle, you know, understand your targets, commit to them. We never know what the top is going to be, right? And it also depends on what you're holding. But just make sure you realize these gains because I don't know. I just think it's just going to come. We're not going to have no forewarning, just like you weren't warned when this liquidity pull happened. We weren't warned. We all thought everything was going up. Like there's some guys on YouTube, some influencers, you know, everybody was going crazy, agent crazy. Everybody knew what agent to buy. This is coming up next week. It's going 100x. Where they at now? They disintegrated. This is why you got to be real. You know, you got to commit to the journey. You don't just come in for a little fad. Some of these people, they just disappeared. There's no more agents that they're talking about. Like, dude, what happened to all the agent hype, bro? A lot of money was lost. So Make sure you capitalize. Did you guys have anything that you wanted to? Sparks, did you get that, son?
Yes, I'm all ready on my end. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Let me see. Are you sharing? No, I don't. Oh, yeah, hold on.
Yeah,
So we can see it.
Yep.
great. So this is the chart on the new Sun token. As you can see, it's got a very nice overall structure to it. It's got a nice, in the beginning, back in 2021, it shut up nicely, had a very healthy retracement during 2022. And as you can see over here, last year around August and even around December, it did a nice double top and it also had an overall nice correction as well. So the question is, where is this token going? Okay, so let me just put on my pivots and Bollinger Band. Let me just get that. Okay, so overall the structure, right? It's did a nice healthy correction and such. Just to let you know, it can still fall a bit into the lower 1 penny region and such. But if I have to put this on a daily time frame, right? Let me just make that nice and big. As you can see, it has started to pick up around the mid-March timeline. It has started to pick up a bit, and it is above the 8 and 50 moving average. And also it's making an attempt above the 21 moving average as well. So these are all good signs overall. As you can see, it made a nice downslope, and now it's starting to pick up. We need to still get over this 100 moving average over here, and also over this 200 moving average, which is our biggest resistance. So our biggest resistance is actually 2 cents right here. If you can get past it and stay above it, we can go up. Question is, how far can we go? So, guys, what I'm about to share now, please take with a grain of salt. This is not a prediction or anything, but the abilities as to how far this token can go. So, in the short term, since this was our last high and this was our last low, we're looking at around 9 to 10 cents, right? But on the overall structure, if I have to take it from the absolute top, from the last top and to the last bottom, is showing 78, 79 cents. This is the golden ratio. With altcoins, this is not the ultimate for most altcoins because altcoins are volatile. It can still go up depending on how much money is coming into the crypto markets and into the token as well. So that is how far. Let me just move this back there. That is how far the token can actually touch overall.
Sweet. So this token on the Twine ecosystem, Twine, Bitcoin. That brings me to this. When you just said it also depends on how much money comes into the ecosystem. Now, that just brings me to World Liberty Fi's holdings, what they hold, right? And they've got a lot of money in crypto. A lot of it's in stable, BTC, ETH, USDT. But I like to pay attention to what they have in the millions in value. Tens of millions. Tron, they got 10 million worth of Tron. I've been talking about Tron since orange chicken first hit the scene. And I remember it because it was back in I was in 5th grade and I was on my 5th grade field trip. We were headed to Washington, D.C. And we were out for lunch. One of our journeys would go to that D.C. mall. And I was looking at this lady in this red little outfit and a hat on with a tray of chicken. And I was like, what is that? You know, as a kid, you're just inquisitive. And of course, food. We love food, you know. It's a little snack. We love snack. Can I have a snack? My daughter always asking for a snack. Joseph, beware of the snacks. Okay? But no, man. The first time I ate it, man, it was the greatest feeling in the world. I don't know if you guys have orange chicken where you're at, or Sparks, if you've ever tasted it. But goddamn, people in America love orange chicken. It just brings back nostalgia. But yeah, nonetheless, TRX. We've been talking about it since then, and you know, they always talk about Tron, Justin, scam this, scam that. But over the years, he's proven that he's the real deal, and so is Tron. You can see by how much USDC is minted on it. You can see by the people who take him very seriously within high society, many different sectors around the world, globally. It's only the crypto world that thinks he's full of shit. And I feel like those are all the people who don't have a brain, who love to follow other people. You just can't think for yourself. So you can't see through the smoke. But why? Tell me, guys. This is conversational here. Why do you think they got Tron in this? So much of Tron in their holdings at World Liberty Financial. What is it that they're not telling us? There's another movie called Tron coming out again. We see Justin propping up in the most. He's always in the mainstream public doing some outlandish shit that costs $5 million on the minimum. None of his moves are less than $5 million.
How much did he buy that banana for?
Like 5.5.
Right?
Just because, you know what I'm saying? Just because he can. Like, for example, he spent what, 30 million? He owns the most World Liberty Financial. I personally believe that token can go get. Listen, if Trump coin went to what, $80-something, World Liberty Financial has to do that just on a minimum. Like, how can it not?
I was trying to find inflows on Tron fairly quickly. I couldn't find much, but I mean, 5 billion TVL, top 10 coin, right? In market cap, something. I think top 10.
It will be top 3. And I know people can't conceive it, and they won't believe it until it happens. But at some point, that token is going to go to top 3. They also have a partnership. Speaking of liquidity, they got a partnership with Wintermute, and I'm not sure if people are aware of Wintermute, but are you familiar with them?
Yes,
you are. So then you know about Wintermute. But Wintermute is the reason why a lot of these assets in crypto have the liquidity that they do have. So a lot of these top projects, 15 billion daily trading volume, token liquidity partners 150. Tron is partnered with them. I personally believe this is like I wouldn't say 100% for all, but Wintermute can give you a good picture on some assets that won't disappear just because of what they invest in and also who they partner with. But yeah, they got everybody in there.
solid.
Like Hyperbolic. Why do you think it's going hyperbolic? Because of Wintermute. They ain't doing it by themselves.
You have Matter Labs. I saw DYDX,
Mon-
Monad.
Monad,
Monad.
yeah, I'm here. I've been hearing that one.
Yeah, we actually. I was in touch with them too. We hosted some spaces on X. Uh, we were supposed to host one space, but then we did. This was 3 weeks ago. But the high. I mean, the Monad. Let me say this: the Monad community is the most legit one I've seen in a while. So much so that we actually hosted another Monad space the week after that, and that turned out to be even better. Um, so, I mean, the builders are they have been in the space for 7 to 12 years,
Hmm.
and they've pivoted to Monad for multiple reasons because the building opportunities, the the foundational team is there helping, like actually giving value to the builders, to the community, and the community love this. I mean, they're raving about Monad all the time. So I think this is gonna be something special. I mean, I've noticed this from
Yeah,
before.
you know, I'm so glad you said that. I don't. For those of you who've been around 2021, 2020, 2019, there was assets that, remember I told you crypto is 90% spiritual, right? 10% physical. There was just something in the air in regards to certain crypto assets. And those assets have gone on to do astronomical. I'm getting the same type of vibe again with certain assets, ones that have been here, but also ones that have newly come to the market over the last year. And I don't really know anything about Monad other than I've just been hearing about it recently. Um, and I need to find out if they've already, I'm sure they seem like they've already finished raising. Um, but when is it coming live?
Yeah, that's the thing. So they have their testnet live, not the mainnet.
Got it. And no TGE just yet.
Yes.
Do you know when that is? Or is that still up in the air?
I don't know, but they should have a roadmap that's up there somewhere. Not sure how precise that would be, but would give an indication.
True.
Let me try and find it. But still, this is like I've seen recent launches going really good, ballistic good,
Mm-hmm.
and then some having the standard like the drop down when launching, and then eventually finding a bottom, uh, and then moving upwards. That's the price of the native token, but that also reflects on the community, right? How much are they raving about the project so much that they want to hodl, or do they want to farm, sell, and move on? And one of the more successful launches maybe recently, I would say, is Berachain, and I had the same vibes about Berachain as I'm doing with Monad. So I think personally, I have high expectations, but those are valid expectations. I think it's something good here. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, we can see Bera dropping, but um, yeah, I think it had good potential. They're moving sideways for some time.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff out there. Just speaking on Say, I actually I got a deep dive coming out on that. So stay tuned to that. Be coming out this month. But since I bought in on it, which was around uh which was around like 15 cent. I bought it around 15 cents. But It's only been going up since then. And that was after the announcement with World Liberty Financial. But see, people don't even know they had already had some say in that wallet already. They bought a lot of it beforehand. Um, they got about almost 6 million say. I personally believe say has the potential to be something crazy after the research I've been doing. And they want to be the layer one blockchain for all trading. So they want, just like, you have top game publishers and distribution channels in the game industry. You got Activision, you got Blizzard, you got what's the other one? Epic for music. You got Warner Music. You got Spotify. And you also got other companies. Just they want to be that main hub for all of trading globally. Put everything on say NASDAQ, everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned Nasdaq. They had an announcement recently. I think it's very bullish. Let me.
Matter of fact,
Uh,
let's play some music for this.
some form of a foundation in Manhattan, which I think is the perfect. It's a perfect positioning to reel in the I don't know financial capital. Here, so they introduced the Say Development Foundation, nonprofit organization, headquarters in Manhattan. So they're gonna provide infrastructure for institutional adoption. I think
100%.
that's for more than just Web3 and crypto natives. This
Yeah.
is,
TradFi industry, all of the above.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it literally is. They want to be that chain, which is why they partnered and they got investors from Coinbase. They got investors from Circle. They're also partnered with Pith, which does a great deal of sharing data as far as the market analytics and price feeds and things of that nature.
mm,
That's why Pith is another version of Chainlink, and that's why there's been so much talk about Pith and Chainlink, but they're doing their own individual thing. But Pith is the oracle for Solana.
yeah.
So I touch on this too in this deep dive that's coming up, but I think this is something to look into, honestly. 6 degrees of separation. You got Trump and Say. Say is partnered with Pith. And if you just do 6 degrees of separation, I did so much of a deep dive. The damn video was 1 hour and 15 minutes. And it could have been 2 hours, honestly. And I hope people stay engaged enough because there's a lot of goodies along the way. You only get that if you watch. But even companies like SIBO, they work with all of financial globally. They're working with Sony Blockchain. So this price feed, all this analytics and data, feeding it to these industries and blockchains, and it seems to be an important business.
Mm,
And I feel one that could bring the gains. Because I remember when Chainlink was a couple, 25, 30 cents.
yeah.
People were always talking about it. Get you some Chainlink. Link. They had they create these little groups. I forget what they call Chainlink, but nonetheless, Pith. I don't know if you can come up with a good group for Pith, unless you change it. What would you call it? Pith. But 3 billion circulating supply, 3.6, 10 billion. And actually, Sparks did the she did the chart analysis for both Pith and Say, and they pretty much are lock in step on the uptrend. So we'll slowly see Pith continue to grow, and Say will continue to go up in price. Um, I always think when tokens like this come out at like 28 cents or higher price, right? And they just stay there for they don't, they may dip, but they still at double digits. Those are the ones that I always see take off to astronomical numbers. And you'll only experience that if you're exposed to it. I just bought a little bit just to get my beak wet because until I make the next major move that I want to make in it. But I'm in Say, also exposed to Pith, also exposed to Sun Swap.
Yep.
I think Osmosis is going to do well. What other trends are you focused on?
I think now is a good time to take your positions, right? Whether you want to DCA or take new positions. I think now is a good time. We're hopeful that the bottom is touched, right? But it's not going to be a trajectory straight away. So you need to take these opportunities. You need to see what's out there. You need to research that and take your positions.
100%.
I think Ondo looks interesting. I want to see what they're cooking.
Yep, it's been going up.
BitTensor. I don't think I
BitTensor,
need to explain that one.
No, that's the AI of all AIs. But what do you think about their subnet tokens? I was hearing about this Tau bot.
Yeah, Talbot a lot of attention. I haven't researched it, to be honest. But there was something the other day about it. I don't know. Let me try to find it.
Came out at like what, 7 cents?
Mm-hmm.
And I like the circulating supply. I mean, they only have 100 million, so it could go up. It has the tokenomics to go up to higher prices, but it's like the Tau bot. Honestly, it's not really doing anything special. It looks like every other fucking agent that was out there. It's just a Telegram bot. I don't know. I just think that's hype.
Yeah, the hype is there. I'm trying to find was something I read about. I think it was an X. If I find it, I'll try to bring it up though,
Okay.
because it was very interesting how they framed it. But I'm also curious to see. We saw a couple of merges within the AI space last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm curious to see how those turn out.
Well, let's see.
I think you know which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, artificial super intelligence. Damn, this shit is at 70 cents now. Kudos. I mean, this thing could do it could go up crazily. I mean, it's added into grayscale to be considered. But at the end of the day, we have yet to see any real AI. I don't know, like a lot of these projects. Where's the AI? Sophia, where the hell is she? They've been talking about a damn metaverse forever. That metaverse, don't nobody want that metaverse.
Yeah, I hope they're building.
Listen, I don't know. I honestly lost faith in that because personally, they're not even doing the real Sophia robot justice.
Yeah.
She could be much bigger. She could be utilized in a different way, and they got their thumbs up their ass over there. And I know personally because I've been around them. But I think they could be doing a lot more. But I think they're comfortable as well. When you when you make hundreds of millions, like Hypercycle did overnight, literally they printed a half a billion.
Yeah.
You feel yourself a little differently the next morning. Like picture that. You might have been a millionaire. Like you might have been having 1-2 million. Now you got 500.
Yeah. But and also that's the thing. We always try to, not only investigate the project, but also the founders, the team, the core team behind everything. And sometimes the signs are there and sometimes they're not, right? So
100%. That's well said. The signs weren't there. I mean, maybe they were flashing a little bit, but we were still given the benefit of doubt because of the hype, because of AI, because
yeah.
of it was a lot of hype. I mean, the Homo sapiens were coming to rule the. Just he knew what to say. Oh, it was just funny. It's crazy. You know, I personally believe it's that project is not going to end up how people think it is. They're going to make all the money. Think about it. If you are staking or participating in that node ecosystem, you don't even have your assets right now.
Yeah.
Is it even computing yet? Somebody let me know. Sparks, did they start to compute?
I believe that they are doing chilling in batches though. So not everyone is in, and they only taking in like certain amounts. That's according to what I see and such.
And I'm sure the people that are earning and tilling now are people that are within their circle. As I don't know nobody around here that's tilling. We were tilling before. I mean, we were tilling with Cryptopia. So who cares about tilling? That's just another excuse to not give you shit. They create ways to slow you down. I feel like certain projects do that because their intent is not what they say. He doesn't care about the Homo sapiens. The only Homo sapiens that they care about over there is them.
Yep.
Period. And until you show me something different, that is the fact. And I'm tired of these projects out here scamming the community, like figuring out ways to weasel their fucking ways out. I'm pissed off about it because there's a lot of money that gets lost like this, and it's not right. And I feel like President Trump, if you need a crypto task force out here in Web3 that stands for the people, we have a tested, uh, uh, you know, journey of helping and being stand-up citizens within this wild, wild west. I will gladly put them on notice with your hand in writing. I will do it. I will do it. I will take them all down, honestly.
But I guess history repeats itself, no? The ICO boom, same thing towards the end
Yep.
of it. Obviously, DeFi summer, NFTs, so meme coins,
It does, but it's not right. It's not.
100%. Yeah,
It's just not right, man. It's like, you know, you have people who are trying to look for a way out.
yeah,
And there's not a lot of people who take up for us who get lost in the sauce. There's not. Like you have listen, like I've seen, like for example, uh Crypto Rand, Banter, right? Um Rand Nooner, whatever his name is. I seen them just broadcast and boost. Terra Luna. I mean, you would have thought he was being paid in Terra Luna, which he probably was, and I know he owned a lot of it. The amount of people that lost from that was crazy. Billions. How much did Terra Luna go up to? About 23 billion. I believe it was like something like that.
I have to check that.
Which is why it brings me to Athena. They say Athena is this next Luna, and I know we mentioned it earlier, but I think people should pay attention to that because that's another one of Trump's chosen ones. And they have about 500,000 USD worth because it probably is going to go up to an astronomical amount. I don't know, but I think it's one that you want to kind of take a look at, considering it's also another one of those ones that came out at a higher price point. Came out about 78 cents.
Mm-hmm.
May 2024. Continued, had some up moments, some down moments, and right now we are still at 36 cents. So that thing is going to go up to dollars. It's just a matter of when. Already in the Trump fund, along with Ondo, Move. I personally, Ondo looks good. I'm personally not going to buy it only because I feel like I'll get more bangs worth out of Say, Pith, and others. I even talked about White. There's been some controversy with this token showing up in their wallet. But I talk about this in the deep dive video. But, if you guys look at their website, have you guys looked at the White Rock website?
Not really. No.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm here. This is very interesting to me. I have yet to verify certain partnerships, and I'm not sure that we will. And in the deep dive, I've asked for other people to look into it. I don't know if this is scam or not. Even World Liberty Financial hasn't confirmed or not confirmed it. But we know the changes that are happening within the financial landscape. Look, BlackRock is here. NASDAQ is there. I've seen crypto projects just use other people's logos just to bring, attention. But could this be different? You could buy stocks, bonds, properties, trading 24/7. They sent Trump, they say they sent it to the wallet. I'm not sure. Yes, you can send tokens if you have the wallet, right? But I noticed, like Arcom, it has every asset that's in that wallet. So I'm sure people send stuff to the wallet, right?
Yeah.
But there's specific assets on the drops tab that they don't show all of the other stuff that they show on the Arcom wallet versus this one. This seems to me, this is the more strategic, the real assets that they're holding. And I see White Rock. I don't know. I just think something could be up with that one. That's why when I bought it, when I saw it, I just threw some money at it. Nothing crazy. But since then, I doubled my money. It's low enough to take a gamble on it. I'm just saying though, guys. We see it came out in December. Like what I've noticed too, a lot of the DeFi projects that are going to be booming coming forward, they came out in 2024. Late 2023, give or take some of them. But even this one came out 0015, 00015, and just continued to go on an uptrend.
And it has all the tokens in circulating supply, right?
Uh, doesn't
At least
say.
according to CoinGecko.
Okay. Well, it says, yeah, everything's total supply and max supply. Could be all out. So 1 trillion.
Yeah.
So let's see, but if you're froggy, I would love to see any research if anybody else finds some stuff on it. I know they partnered with Zebek recently, and then there was a big ordeal with that and WorldFi, and it was just a big mess. Um, but still worth the risk because I believe it'll make money, and that's what we're here for.
I think that's the perfect end note. White Rock,
100%.
do some research. Let's see collectively what we can find, and see
Worth anything.
if it turns out to something good or something else.
100%. Yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. I think we came, we saw, we conquered. We'll talk about some good stuff. And, we're going to continue to do this on a weekly basis. You'll see things change, but grow with us, okay? Grow with us as we plan things more strategically and more thought out. Any last closing remarks from you guys? Sparks, ladies first.
Sure. So in closing, I would say, as you've seen a recent uptrend in the overall market and such, um, take your positions, do what you need to do to make sure that you secure your bag, so that capitalize on the opportunity because, opportunities like these do not come, you know, a lot. It's every once in every 4 years. So I would say make sure you're in the right assets. If you're not sure, you can always visit the Bigger Than Race, a website, join our Patreon, join our Telegram group, and be a part of our community because Brando always updates us on and what's happening with them behind the scenes. There's more engaged community as well where we talk this out and such. So stay safe and stay in tune.
Sweet. Did you care to tell us where the market was going? Because I don't know if we touched on that. Really quick, are we going up or are we going down?
We are going up for sure. Definitely.
Let's
There
go.
you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The wolf confirmed. Oh! Joseph.
Let's go, Sparks. I mean, some levels we haven't seen in many, many years. So this is indeed a good time to take positions. Do your own research. Make sure you tune in next week, whether it's Wednesday. We'll set it up for you guys. And yeah,
It'll be one of those
time to take
days.
position.
It-
It's gonna be one of those days. That's for sure.
Wednesday through Friday. Catch us one of those. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, take positions, man. Now is the time. The arc, you've been hearing about us talking about this arc closing. Arc is closing. Eventually, it's gonna close. Like you hear about the people say, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Eventually, you keep saying it's gonna go down, but the arc will officially close at some point. But these assets keep going up, so get in position while you can, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Brando. We got Sparks. We got Joseph. We will catch you next week. Join the community, and we will see you on the other side. Do you know who this is? This is your boy, Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember to investigate truth on your own terms. Peace. Yes, man. Oh man, what a great episode. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate you.
Let's go.
Appreciate you being here with us. Um, community is everything, and appreciate you guys for what you do and being a part of the community. Without you, I wouldn't be me, and we wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be us. So thank you guys for the call. See you guys on the other side. I will get that info to you though, Joseph. We're gonna be working on that. It's crazy. Sparks, peace.
Waiting
Yes, I
for
know
it.
it's gonna come. But a lot of things are on the future and on the horizon, man. We just got to keep our heads down and keep pushing. Nothing is gonna be handed to us. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.